Hey guys, it's Segef, and today, doing kind of a special episode. I'm going to be talking about with some Q&A, basically some questions I've gotten from a few emails and a few posts from you guys via Facebook and Twitter and things like that I've received. So I thought I would kind of answer some of these. And in the background, I just have some idle gameplay of some Kenshi, of me getting back up with what I am now dubbing as Home Base 3.0. So first off, one of the questions was, what made you decide to do a gaming channel? Well, one of the things that made me decide to do a gaming channel was I saw so many other people, mainly that I mostly watch, is Jesse Cox, Total Biscuit, Force SC Strategy, WoW Crendor, Dodger, is it Preacher Mike, WoW, and I saw some of these guys and I was like, wow, one, they make it look easy. Two, it's a way for them to voice their opinions within the gaming industry. And I've always kind of gone off on like rants about like liking games or not liking games, or what I thought was should be. And so I was like, you know what? Why don't I pick this up as a hobby? I used to do other things as hobbies, but I just don't have the ability to do that so much, or like the inspiration to do it as much anymore. And this is something that I already played video games, and so I was like, well, let's just do it. And if I get popular enough at it, maybe I can get a couple press release games or things like that, and become part of the gaming community, not just a regular gamer, so to speak. Looks like it's all done. The other one was, why does your sound suck? What mic are you using and I can't hear you? Well, to answer some of these things is, there was a time period for a while that the reason why my mic sucks so much is it's still the same mic. This is the same mic that I've been using since, I want to say like 97, 98. It came free with a sound card that I had bought for a computer that I was building. Yeah, and so my mic is almost old enough to drink. And it does me real good. It's cheap, it's free, which goes back to me doing the channel, is I'm trying to do this as a hobby, not as so much as like this business adventure, so I'm not going to dump a ton of money into it. Why does my sound suck? Also, there was a time that I had Windows XP, and it decided to proverbially shit its pants, and just made my sound settings go all wonky. And then I went and got Windows 8.1, which is like the first real Windows that I've paid for since, because my previous one was a corporate copy that I had picked up from a buddy. And so Windows 8.1 that I just upgraded, I had to redo all my sound settings all over again, and re-get everything organized, re-download all my software, because I went from 32-bit to 64-bit, and so there was all sorts of like hiccups and problems that I was running into. And yeah, this is the first copy that I've actually paid for since, I want to say, Windows 98. So yeah, and getting used to speaking to a mic, and kind of like just talking to myself into a fictitious audience, so to speak, to the monitor. Sometimes I understand that I don't project my voice properly. And it's something that I've been really working on, and I think and self-believe that I'm doing better. So I don't hear so much like your sound sucks can't hear you so much on some of my newer videos, but I know in my previous ones I used to get those all the time, especially when I was having that time, that era of all sorts of problems with my operating system. Alright, here's another one. Why do you cover indie games instead of AAA titles? Well, one, because I'm trying to do this as a hobby, and I have limited income because I'm not rich. I have bills to pay. I'm not able to afford buying AAA titles on release and pre-release and things like that. I can't be dropping $60 every week or every 2 weeks or things like that. So that's partially why I lean towards the indie games, is because they are cheaper by nature. When I pick up an indie game, I'm spending $5 to $30, and I'm able to pick up and view 2 or 3 indie games in the cost of one AAA. I know I've done a little bit of AAA coverage, but for the I will probably do that occasionally as they pique my interest. But I think I'm going to focus on indies for the purposes I'm a small fish, they're small fish, and they're more likely to talk to me if I want to try to do interviews. Like I've done interviews with Intercooler, and I've gotten some info from Lofi Games as well. And so, being a small fry, I get kind of an extra, like, I'm willing to talk to them and they're more willing to talk to me, because we're both nobodies, basically. We're both the wallflowers, and we're both the nerds in the corner, and so it's easier to get along with each other. Versus, like, there's no way EA is going to give me or Bethesda is going to give me early access to anything, or exclusive questions or anything like that. So I kind of want to give them a voice. In return, they give me a voice as well. And so that's why I want to choose indie games. Is we're both small. Let's help each other build up. Another one. Why do you pause so much when you talk? Well, being a public speaker of sorts is not my forte. It's not what I've gone to school for. It's not what I have a history of. I have some history of retail, and I think that works for me sometimes. And sometimes the pause I think I've gotten a lot better at it. Is I used to all the time do it because I wasn't comfortable yet playing games at the same time as thinking of what I want to say next. It's a different skill set to pick up, and I know some that are very great at it. The on-the-fly commentary and things like that. That is something I'm going to have to build up, and I think I'm doing better at it. And that is just going to come with practice. I mean, even look at sports announcers. They don't go to the big leagues right off the bat. They start somewhere small, some kind of newscasting or minor leagues, things like that. They don't instantly start narrating the NFL. And a lot of times those people that do narrate those things, they've been in the business for years at hand. They're either ex-athletes or ex-coaches, things like that. And so they know what to say off the bat. I have never worked in the gaming industry before. This is the closest to gaming industry career that I've ever worked in. And I don't even want to call it career, because I want to keep it as a hobby. And so that's why I've had a lot of videos where I pause when I'm saying, because I'm either getting like mentally flustered with what I want to say next, with reacting to game input or whatever you want to phrase it. And so it's me becoming more comfortable in speaking and reacting spontaneously. So sometimes I have the thought in my head, but I'm too focused on reacting that I don't actually vocalize it. So hopefully that makes sense, and I hopefully to get better at it as I practice. And then what do you plan for the future? Well, me personally, what I plan for the future is hopefully do some real world experience stuff. I still originally, when I went out for this to do my YouTube channel, was I wanted to do Warhammer 40k stuff and RTS stuff, but it kind of fell into more of this strategy or survival games and more of the sandboxy games. And I'm cool with that. I mean, that's how life works. Is sometimes you can't go with your original idea. You have to roll with the punches. Oh, that's another reason why I pause a lot. A lot of times I have a drink with me. Just kind of the wet the whistle or something like that. And so, totally lost my train of thought there with explaining why I pause. Just shot myself in the foot. Oh, plans for the future. I want to continue doing Kenshi. Kenshi has done great for me. That I would have to say majority of my popularity is from Kenshi, so I'm going to continue following Kenshi. And it's really what brought me into the survival strategy sandbox games, and I'm going to continue with that. I've picked up the Forest. At the time of this recording, I've only played about 4 minutes, no, not even 4 minutes of it, just the cinematic. I wanted to see the cinematic so badly. I wanted to see the start of it, and I didn't have a quiet environment to do that in. Where the hell is he running off to? Didn't have a quiet environment to do the recording, and so I didn't do anything more than just the initial. Okay, there we go. Oh, I think I accidentally right-clicked. That's why I went off doing that. So that I'm going to do the Forest. Divination and I are both picking up the Stomping Land, and we're going to do some co-op play with that. That looks amazing. It's another survival game, but with instead of the focus of like cannibals, like the Forest is, this one has the focus of dinosaurs. And you know what 4-year-old child does not like dinosaurs? I know I just kind of compared myself as like some kind of weird man baby or adult man child, but whatever. Some things you just never grow out of, and dinosaurs are freaking awesome. I'm going to continue harassing the folks. I want to get into H1Z1. That's with SOE, Sony Online Entertainment. I've had an account with them for ages, and I've gotten... funny enough, is back in the day, I did get an exclusive with them for Dragon Prophet, but at the time I couldn't play it because I was running Windows XP, and it was basically meant for Windows 7 Plus, so I was not able to do that. And they were nice enough they gave me an early access beta key, like really early on, and I wasn't able to participate in that, and that really that hurt me because, well, I was being a slack ass with not keeping my stuff up to date. But I'm hoping that I can get back in their favor and be able to do H1Z1. I keep getting tweeted photos and live stream stuff with them, and it's right up my alley with what I'm turning my channel into. So I'm hoping to get into that. As well as Dying Light is another one I'm looking into, which is another, open world zombie apocalypse one. I'm hoping that one turns out really good too. And I would like to get into an MMO again. That's another thing I have planned for the future. But I just haven't decided yet. There's ESO, there's WildStar, there's ArcAge, and then World of Warcraft Warlords of Draenor. Some of you may have even already heard of my Warlords of Draenor rant. WildStar is wacky and fun. I love it. ArcAge, I like the dynamic of that, what that one is, direction it's going in, the class system, as well as just you can do bloody everything. I mean, there's building, there's farming, there's hunting, there's naval battles. There's just so many options of things that you can do. It's supposed to have a really crazy crafting system in it as well. And then ESO, which I've done some footage of, and I had some fun with it once I got it up and running properly. Ran into a lot of glitches early on. Had some when I got into the beta access to that, which I was super stoked about. But then I couldn't run it for like more than 5 minutes to 10 minutes because of some stupid errors that a lot of people were having. And so, and I've read a lot of problems that people have been having, and all the problems and things like that that ESO is having, and all the glitches. And why are you people running? Oh, cool. Kill that nerd. So that's something that I'm leery about. But like I said, I want to do some kind of MMO, but just haven't decided yet. And I know there's some really cool stuff out there on the horizon. And then let's see. One of my last questions is, what do you play for fun? Well, I kind of got sucked back into EverQuest. Back when I did that nostalgic video, I was really surprised to have my entire account still active after almost 12 years of inactivity, or 10 years of yeah, I guess it was about 10 years of inactivity. And so it was really interesting to see all my account, and I kind of fell in love with that for a short bit. Played it for a month, and I fell off it again. And then I started getting emails from SOE saying that they were doing, let's go back to speeding that up, that they were having their 15th anniversary, and I was like, no shit. It's been that long. Well, it blew my mind, for one, that it still has players that are active on it, and that they're now just released their 20th expansion. And then two, it really made me feel old, because that this one video game is still around. It's just, yeah, it's kind of like almost the Simpsons of video games. And then another one is I play Terraria with Divination, every other Wednesday practically, and we have our own save going on. We don't really, we tried to do the whole play with our banter, but it seemed like the times that we recorded, we were both nervous about it, and then the times that we weren't recording, that's when the funny moments would happen, and that's when we would have really good banter. And so I think to continue doing co-op playthroughs with each other, we're going to have to find that niche. Otherwise, I'm not going to bother doing records of us co-oping, because then if it's not enjoyable, then what's the point of eating up my hard drive, putting it on Facebook or on putting it on YouTube, and then eating up your time? I mean, if it's going to get awkward and not enjoyable to record, then I'm not going to. I mean, I'm not this superstar, but I still want to put out some kind of quality for you folks, or the people that are willing to listen to my rants and rambles and playthroughs. You may not even be people, you may be dogs, cats, ficas. Not picky, as long as I get a page view. Well, that's my little Q&A that I wanted to do. So things for the future, the forest, I'm jumping in right now. After I get done with this recording, I'm turning off the lights in this room, and I'm playing the forest, because that is how you're supposed to play that. Stomping Land, hopefully next week I will have footage for that. And continued Kenshi updates and things like that. So that's what you're going to be looking forward to, is those 3 major games. I wanted to do EverQuest Landmark, but I don't have time for that. It looks really cool. A buddy of mine got me a key, but it's wasting away on me, to be honest. Well, guys, thanks for listening to my rant. If you have any other questions, concerns, rants, counter rants, insults, please drop them in the section below, or follow any of the links and info that I put in below to reach me and contact me. Till then, stay safe and keep your head down in the front line. Night.